Welcome. We are going to make a folder and open Lightroom and make a calendar. I like to click on this little finder over here and try and find my pictures folder. Okay? If you cannot find your pictures folder, you can always go to up here, it may be listed, or you can search for the pictures folder and you'll see it listed here under folders, and you can double click to open it. And in that folder, you want to go File, New Folder, and name it Caterina, or in your case, last name, underscore Lightroom, underscore lib. And this is where all of your photographs will go for the semester. When you leave class at the end of the day, you've got to be sure to back this up. So that means you may need to give yourself 15 to 20 minutes to do that if you start shooting like a madman, okay? Keep in mind that these are public computers and your stuff may be deleted at any time. So it's good to always back your stuff up. Once you've got your folder, everything is going in that folder, and that folder is not going to move except if you take it home. Okay? So let's open Lightroom down at the dock. So we are going to create a default catalog, and it will make a folder called Lightroom with a catalog in your pictures folder. And what's important about this is the root, right? These breadcrumbs. It needs to be on your hard drive, in your pictures folder. Your Lightroom catalog is in a folder called Lightroom, and then your photographs will be in that other folder. And I'm kind of belaboring the point. It's just that Lightroom really likes structure. Okay? So this is our interface. I'm going to add a couple of photos real quick so you can see some of the stuff that we can do. File, Import, Photos, and Video. So right now, I don't have a camera hooked up, so I'm going to go to my desktop, into Fall 14, and then grab some of my student work. So you'll see that all of them are checked, 121 photographs, and you have 4 different options up here. One is copy as DNG. If you are copying raw files from your camera that are maybe Nikon.NEFs or Canon.CR2s, you want to check this because you want to convert your raw file to a DNG. A DNG is Adobe's solution to kind of universalizing the raw extension. Because if you have a .NEF and you have a .CR2, those may or may not open on certain computers. Also, a raw file has what's called a sidecar file, which is an XMP file. What that sidecar file is the directions to any editing that you do to that raw file. If you have a CR2 raw file from a Canon, that XMP file will be located in the folder, but it's a separate file. And if you lose the directions, right, your file just goes back to default. When you convert to DNG, those directions become one with the file. So you never have to worry about losing them. Perfect. I don't think I have any DNGs in this folder, so I'm not going to worry about that. I could copy, right? I could move these files from one to another, or I could add them. And it's saying you should probably add these. So I'm going to add them. If I hit copy, it's going to copy to a new location and add to catalog. If I hit add, it's going to add to the catalog without moving them. In this case, I do want to move them. I want them to stay with that catalog. So copy photos to new location and add to catalog. Perfect. Now, if I look in my pictures folder, there are a lot of things that are from last semester. So we're going to uncheck those. Okay. And we're going to go in to Users, Caterina, Pictures, Caterina, Lightroom Library, and double click to open that. Again, there are some phantom folders in here that you won't see. And then also, next thing you want to do is make sure they go into a subfolder. And we're going to enter that name, test. And you will see test appear at the top of the list. Not quite sure. Oh, I see what it's doing. I see what it's doing. There we go. Okay. It is trying to put them in subfolders according to date. And I don't want that. So I am just going to organize into one folder. Because if they go into all these different subfolders, it's going to take me hours to find where everything is. And I don't have time for that, okay? So into one subfolder called test, you'll see it is italicized right here. That's where I want it to go. And I'm organizing them into one folder. Now, you've got file handling. I keep this just at default. Don't import suspected duplicates. I'm not making a second copy. File renaming. We're going to come back to this because we're going to rename our files. And apply during import. This is if you wanted to add a bunch of keywords or change the metadata. And the metadata tells you the ISO, the aperture, where it was taken, things like that. I'm going to add some keywords. IVC class, water project, cool students. Okay? And now those keywords will get stuck to the metadata of everything that I'm applying. And that can be super helpful when you're trying to organize and you're trying to find something. So we've got our pictures, our library, our test, and import. And because we chose copy, it is actually copying them from my original folder into my Lightroom folder. So if I want to check, I can go here, and you'll see all of the files. Perfect. Now, this folder has a link to my Lightroom catalog. If I move it around, it's going to break that link, and it's going to be hard to find those images. I've done this, I've had it happen, and then I can't find things or I lose edits. So you really want to keep those organized. All right? And now we're in the library module, and we can add additional keywords. We can look at the keywords we already have set. We can look at our metadata. So this is our metadata. This is the file name, when it was taken, the dimensions. The exposure was 1/8 of a second at f/5.6, the focal length of the lens, the ISO, and the make and model of the camera and lens. It is amazing because if you love a photograph and you don't know how you did it, now you can find out how you did it because it's all captured in here. You can also add titles and captions and copyright and things like that. I typically leave this alone for now, but the metadata, that's where all of your information is stored, okay? So this is a good starter. Let's pause here and answer some questions.